I think right now we're in this really weird environment where we've had rates that were raised faster than they've ever been raised before, and they've persisted. And now we have this Fed that's trying to scare markets and claim higher for longer, where in reality, I don't think it actually matters. It's clearly inflationary, whether you're looking at the stock market, gold, the real estate index, Bitcoin, everything is double digit year over year returns. And so it's clearly stimulative still. It's clearly inflationary still. I think people can get confused by the price of money, which is interest rates. But what about the supply of money? They're still stimulating. They're still printing dollars. And so I actually don't think it matters what the Fed does. It's all stimulative. And the reality is my favorite metric is global debt to GDP, because it really, to me, it just tells the story very cleanly, is that I view money as our time and energy in an abstracted form, our time and energy in a market good that we can either save or exchange. And so what global debt to GDP tells me is that governments around the world have borrowed a tremendous amount of our time and energy from our future with no growth to pay it back. That loss has to be realized somewhere. Okay, so where's that loss going to be realized? They have two options. Either the people that lent them the time and energy or the money aren't going to get it back, and those are who? The bondholders. Those are all of the banks, all of the wealth in the world. Or they're going to debase the currency of the general populace and take time and energy from them, and that's what we call inflation. So to me, it doesn't really matter what the Fed does, higher for longer, we're going to cut. It's all a load of nonsense. It's all very distracting. It's that there's a loss that has to be realized somewhere. And it's either going to be all the banks have to collapse and the bond market and the sovereign debt market's going to go to zero, or they're going to debase the currency and inflate their way out, which is just ways of abstracting time and energy away from the populace to make themselves whole on what has been an egregious mistake in government and in fiat currency.
Which of the two do you think is more of the likely scenario?
You tell me. I mean, come on. If they wanted to, listen, if I became the dictator of America, where I can make any decision I wanted to do, what I would do is have the banks fail. I mean, we're running 2008 back. I mean, if they wanted to let the banks fail, they could have. I think de-dollarization started in 08, 09 because the world realized they don't care about the value of this world reserve currency. They don't care about protecting the shareholders of this dollar network. And they bailed those guys out. And that's the only way. And the reality is there's no easy way out. The other way is you need to debase the time and energy of everyone that commutes to work every single day. So think about it. I mean, why are people getting married later in life? Why are people having less kids? Why are people having less housing? Because it's more time and energy that goes into a quality of life that we expect. Because they're debasing our money. They're debasing the time and energy that we're contributing into the universe to make themselves whole on the whole in the balance sheet, right? On the global debt to GDP ratio. So I think they're going to debase the currency, which, by the way, where we agree, Bitcoin, gold, these are both assets that are outside the purview of their reach, right? They cannot debase these. And so it is a way to protect your time and energy, in my opinion, and why these assets probably perform very well.
Jack's animosity